What is going on with GameStop? Oh my gosh. And not just GameStop, but AMC and Nokia, all these little stocks. Why are things going crazy right now in the stock market? That's what I would like to discuss with you today because surprisingly, my sister actually owns GameStop stock. And so me and her have been talking a lot back and forth about it the past couple days. It has been crazy to watch. And so I'd like to let you know what's going on. So, back about well, I guess more than that now, 7, 8 months ago, back in June, me and my family had a little family get together, right? And we were talking about the stock market. And me and my wife had invested in some stocks that were doing really well. And so my siblings got really excited to start their own stock market investments, right? Trying to make a little money. And so the stock market has been doing really well over its time period, right? I mean, there was that big dip in 2008 and especially this slash with the coronavirus, right? But it's coming back up and it's right now is the highest it's ever been in history. It's pretty impressive. So, back in June, on June 26th to be precise, right? My sister bought 5 shares of GameStop. Why GameStop? Because she loves video games. She loves Zelda. She actually has a YouTube channel where she does her own artwork. That's very a lot of fan art, very good, well done. But she heard about GameStop on this from this YouTuber that she was watching. So she bought 5 shares for a total of $21.49 right here, right? And over the past 7 months, right? It's risen, that $21 has risen up to $75. Pretty good, right? I mean, more than triple your money. So she went ahead and cashed out $50, right? Or sold 3.5 shares. And so, I mean, that's not the share price, that's the total value for the 5 shares, right? So she sold $50 worth of shares or 3.5 shares. She still had a share and a half left over that was valued for about $25. And she just kind of let it sit, just kind of forgot about it, did her own thing until yesterday, January 27th, when she was on the computer, right? And she started seeing all these YouTube videos and all these social media comments about GameStop. And she was like, what is going on? Like, she was a little confused. There was some big money battle going on between Reddit and a bunch of hedge funds or something. And so she got on to check, and her stock, her 1.5 shares, rose from a mere $25 all the way to the crap up to almost $475, 473.50 to be precise, right? Insane amount of growth. 3,000% within a week. It was crazy. That's never been done before, right? Insane. Anyway, so she still has. Oh, so she was super excited and she called and was totally geeking out about it. Like, we were so giddy. It was crazy. So she sold zero point 0.6 shares, cashed out $200. Okay. So she put in $25 originally and has already made $250, 10 times her value. Okay. Crazy. So she still has 0.83 shares as of last night, right? So at about $330 per share. Then this morning, she called me up again. We've been talking a lot back and forth about this because of how crazy it's been. So it shot all the way up, right? And then has just plummeted, right? And it nosedived all the way down to almost like, I think it was like $180 was the lowest it got to or something. Anyway, so she was like, "Oh, I'm not selling any. That's for sure. I'm going to hang on to this until it goes back up." And it has. It's gone back up, and it's kind of stabilized around the 230, 250 mark. But the crazy thing is, if she had wanted to sold it, or if she had wanted to sell it, she could. But if she had wanted to buy more, Robinhood, this broker she's going through, right? The Robinhood app, which is the one I use, and I'm very happy with it. I love how convenient it is. but it says you can close out your position, you can sell out, but you cannot purchase additional shares. In fact, if you hit the trade button, the buy option is not available. You cannot buy GameStop shares right now through Robinhood. Okay. Now she was a little annoyed. She's like, "Oh, but it's going down. I want to buy more, right? I want to make more money," which can't blame her, right? It's pretty crazy. Anyway, so that's what's been going on. Now, why would Robinhood do that? Robinhood, along with E Trade, along with Ameritrade, right? There's a bunch of different brokers out there. When you go to buy stocks on the stock market, you're not you're not the one that's directly buying them. What you do, you go through a stockbroker, right? Robinhood is a stockbroker. You give them money and you say, "Oh, I want to buy 5 shares of this company or 4 shares of that company," right? Or 1 million shares of that company if you've got that kind of money. And then that stockbroker, Robinhood, goes ahead, places the order on the stock exchange, and then Robinhood is the one that has your stocks and is the one tracking them, right? And you do all your buying and selling through that stockbroker, right? And so it's crazy what happened. Why did that happen? Why did it go from $25 all the way up to almost $500 overnight? Why and why would Robinhood suddenly shut down the buying, make it so you can't buy anymore? The answer has to do with short selling, which is kind of a complicated and a little lesser known way to invest in the stock market. And most people, when they think investing in the stock market, you're buying shares, and then you wait for that share to grow in value. So you buy it at $10, let's say it grows to $15, you sell it, you make $5, right? Short selling, though, is kind of like betting. Instead of it growing, you're betting that it goes down, right? So this is United Airlines, right? A stock that I hold, and I bought right here and it's gone up. So that's been awesome. And it has been growing and it's been fluctuating, right? But let's say you buy stock right here when it was worth almost $100, right? And then it plummets all the way down here. You would buy it for 100, and now its value is clear down here to like 30. That's a $70 loss, right? That's no good for us normal investors. Well, short selling is when you hedge it, meaning you're betting that it goes down. So what you do is when it's up here, you borrow the share. You don't buy it, you borrow the share, right? Promising that you'll give it back. And then you sell it immediately. Okay. So you get the $100, but you still have to give the guy back a share. So you're going to have to buy that share back and give it. So if you're selling and then buying, you want to sell it more than when you would buy it again, right? So you sell it up here and then it goes down all the way to 30. Man, that's awesome because you sell it for 100, then you buy it back. Oh, let's go back. Buy it back for 30 and you make $70, right? From borrowing this share. That's short selling. You immediately sell it hoping that it goes down so that you can buy it back, give it back to the broker, right? And pocket the difference. And so you have all of these stocks like GameStop, AMC, right? That have been gradually going down, right? Like they were worth very little and they've been falling for a long time. A lot of people were thinking they were going to go under, right? And so these hedge funds betting that it would continue that trend just short sold the crap out of these stocks, right? And the best explanation for this whole scenario that I found, that my sister sent this screenshot to me. Bryant Black, I don't know where she got it, but Bryant here explains it better than any other article I've seen so far. And you can pause the video and read it over. It explains how short selling works, kind of just what I've explained a little bit. But then how how GameStop is involved, and basically all these redditors, right? Reddit, the website, They joined forces, found out how much GameStop was being short sold, and just poured money into it, sending the stock price screaming up, right? Now, if you short sold GameStop, that sucks because you bought it, you borrowed it, sold it, right? But you have to buy it back and give back the stock. So if it's going up in value, that means you're losing money. Well, Reddit, they poured so much money in, got that stock so inflated that that hedge fund lost billions of dollars. It's called a short squeeze. It's crazy what's going on, right? I mean, it's really rough for these hedge funds because they're the ones that invested all this money hoping that it would go down in value so they could make that money back, right? But man, it is just screwing them over hardcore. I've got another video that explains a little more about how short selling works, how the mechanics of it works, right? But that is why GameStop is going crazy right now, is this concept of short selling. And it is gaining national attention, not just GameStop, but Robinhood, right? Because Robinhood was the broker that was kind of the central force of making that happen, right? It's not illegal to do, but if you're gonna risk money, you got to be able to lose it, right? And that's the problem with short selling, is that the more that stock value goes up, the more you have to pay to buy it back, and it's just awful. And so there's a lot of heat because the government stepping in to bail out these hedge funds, which a lot of people are very upset about. A lot of regular investment investors like my sister were really annoyed that they couldn't that Robinhood blocked them from being able to buy more shares, right? In fact, this trading freeze right now is gaining attention from a lot of people in Congress, right? A lawsuit may be forthcoming. I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see how this plays out the next few days and weeks, right? But man, it is kind of a quirky thing that just the presence of the internet has allowed hundreds of thousands of these Reddit users to specifically target a specific stock to really hose a bunch of hedge funds. It's something that's never been done before, but was enabled by social media platforms like Reddit, right? Anyway, very fascinating to watch. And it'll be really interesting to see if any legislation or if any policies come out of this. Um, but the moral of the story, don't invest what you can't afford to lose. And if you're short selling, be very careful that that stock does not go up, right? If that value does not go up. Anyway, so that's a very brief summation. Again, go back. This right here is the best written format I've seen of it. Read that. But that is what's going on with GameStop.